Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hello, my loves. This is Luna here from the Artisan Tarot, and I am giving you a reading for the whole month of June, starting from Mercury Retrograde to pretty much the last 2 weeks of the retrograde. If you want to book a personal session with me after this, I am taking readings from now to on my calendar, the days and times I'm available till Memorial Day weekend. I will be off after that because I have a wedding for my sibling that I am now in and I have to plan and prepare for. So if you guys want a session with me, please book me before Memorial Day. Also, you should know, if you're going to book me and you cannot book me for the times that I am available, I can still do a recorded video. The prices do not change. They stay the same, and I just send it to your email, the video link, for however long you purchased. Okay? So just FYI, just bringing that out to you. And today, I'm doing things a little bit differently. I'm doing a reading that is going to include a Dragon Oracle, the Dragonfae Oracle, and my Fae Blessings. So you're covered for the whole month. Okay, so give me just a second here, Aquarius, because I have really loved doing these. You Capricorn and Pisces are getting your messages earlier. Only reason being is because I'm trying to beat the retrograde here, and Mercury retrograde always ends up stopping me or messing with me. And I tried to do your session, literally, I literally tried to do your session, and I did it, and the video got blocked on my own laptop. Like, it wouldn't record. I was like, what? I was pretty upset because I tried to do it twice. Also, if you would like to join me on Patreon or tip me, you may tip me in the description box down below. That link is the same for the book link. To join me on Patreon for your personalized zodiacs, rites, rituals, spell work, and incantations that you can work on during Mercury retrograde with Mother Isis's Unconditional Love. I already have that posted. And join me for the full moon and Scorpio reading on Patreon. In that tier, $35 a month, you get access to the month before, I believe, and this month. So you'll get the Libra reading and you'll get the Scorpio reading for the month. Pretty cool for $35. So show me please my wonderful dragon totem. I've worked with dragon totem for years. I love working with them. Show me please my awesome dragon totem. What is coming through for Aquarius's Mercury retrograde experience? Please show me. Clearest of divine guidance. Oh, hang on. Oh, wow. We've got some neutral energy cards. We got 3 neutral energy cards. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and keep it like that. I'm going to pull for the Dragonfae to see. That's the first. Okay, hang on. Okay, show me please my beautiful Dragonfae beings. How do we get these Dragon Oracle cards upright for Aquarius? What is a lesson they need to learn and work through with Mercury? Looks like Mercury's already doing his job. Hold on. Okay, that one's not open since it's reversed. Show me please. Ooh, that one almost popped out. That one, nope. She said nope. All right, show me please. Oh, finally. Okay, here we go. I actually have worked with this card, and I've worked somewhat with this one. How funny. Okay, so, all right. I normally was going to go through the interpretations, but I can't give the full interpretation since they're neutral. But Aquarius, this is not far off from your Fae Blessing, actually, and I'm going to go ahead and pull from the Fae Blessing too, so that way I have them all laid out, and then I can just go in. Give me just a second here. Show me my beautiful Sealy Court beings. What is the Fae Blessing that you have for Aquarius during the month of Mercury retrograde? Okay, that's reversed. We're not taking that. That's not a blessing. If it's reversed, it's not a blessing. It's not coming through. So, all right, let's see what we got. Hold on. Come on, directs. Nope. Oh, there you go. All right. So, Aquarius, very first off, we have Fire and Water Dragon coming up. Now, the Fire Water Dragon is it's a very interesting dragon to work with. There are also air water dragons. Like, there's a bunch of combination dragons in this dragon deck that I do like working with, especially when I'm trying to do dualistic elements. This is very much a Scorpio dragon energy for me because it is fire and water, and we have, like I said, that full moon in Scorpio taking place, and it is taking place in your, I want to say 10th house. Let me, hold on. Yeah, it should be your 10th house. So I've got, things are heating up and they're boiling and simmering, and then you're trying to cool them down, but it seems to only make things a little bit more interesting. And the nature, the nature of this card, it says, the fire and water dragon ebbs and flows with your life to flow with loving force, or forces, I would say. Prepare for change and to move forward quickly. Expect the unexpected and have fun. So this is pretty much your overall energy. And the thing is, Aquarius, you've got Taurus having its Mercury retrograde take place in there, in your house of, give me a second here. I want to say that because it's the mirror to Scorpio. So your 4th house. Yeah, it is your 4th house. So of friends and social life and how we build community. So this is basically, it's being cooled down and then heated up, cooled down and then heated up. Now, the cards that are neutral, it doesn't mean these are negative, actually. It means these are dragons. They're trying to come through, but they're not fully able to come through. So the reason I pulled from the Dragonfae was to help you to bring these through. So I'm going to go ahead and just name these dragons off. First, you've got the Alpha Dragon trying to come through. It wants to teach you to harness the divine masculine power of creation, destroying what is the old, and visualize your dream to help manifest a new world for yourself and for others. The second that is trying to come through is Dark Blue Galactic Dragon. Ooh, helps you listen to the voice of the universe. Which is funny because you got the card of the listener. Wonder what that's trying to tell you. Ignite the codes of your master blueprint. Access cosmic wisdom and enter higher service. Now, Aquarius, your master blueprint actually has to do with your natal chart. I do natal chart readings. I do dream interpretation. I work with runes. I work with dragons. I work with spiritual animal totems. I do a lot. And I can tell you, your natal astrology chart is going to play a huge factor this month, not just your progression. The progression is going to affect the natal, because progression has to deal with collective. And there's like the time you were born, like natal collective, progression chart, which I've seen. That's what I call it when you were born. A great example of what I'm talking about is, let's say you get a natal chart reading and your natal chart says you are a Pisces rising, but when you do your collective, it says you're Sagittarius rising. That means that's completely different than your natal, but they both affect each other, because what happens in the collective still affects you on your path and learning how to move through lessons, and also what your destiny is, and etc., etc. So looking at your natal chart as a blueprint is really going to be helpful to you at this time to figure out, well, if collectively my 4th house is being hit, where in my chart is Taurus, 1, and 2, where is Scorpio? Because since Taurus is the partner to Scorpio on the love and romance spectrum, you need to keep in mind that for you, even though it's affecting your 10th, these two houses play upon each other because they're earth sign energy. And Pluto is currently sitting in Capricorn at this time, which is moving into your, give me a second, your 12th house. So, of endings, new beginnings, and magic. Spirituality, how you relate to spirit, life after death. So, being renewed again. So I need you to really, I know that's very deep for you, I know, but I need you to go there right now, because if you don't, you're going to miss some very important lessons. And this is what Mercury retrograde, you're meant to work on and or embrace. And also you have the golden, okay, this is Christian dragon. This talks about Christ light and Christ consciousness. I don't necessarily work with that energy, but hear me out. It has a point of talking of compassion. That was the whole point and premise of Jesus as a spiritual figure. and about bringing that higher vibrational energy, which actually he is usually represented as the 12th house of Pisces. So in most astrology circles. So interestingly enough, you have something trying to pop through in your 12th house again. And so this talks about brings you higher love so that you embody the Christ light. Absorb the Christ light. You are protected. Expand your heart and remain fifth dimensional. Now this talks about you going into the fifth dimension. You are not there because obviously this card is neutral. So in order to get this, if you don't want to go like with that Christ thing, go with the god or goddess that most embodies. For like Viking, for example, would be like Balder, Odin's son, who has passed on. I hope I didn't say his name wrong, but he would be like the equivalent to that. So pick the equivalent to that and then go with that if you don't feel called to Christ. That's the one thing about this deck. Some of it has Christian association, some of it doesn't, but it really does work. So let's not hate on it. Let's instead adapt it to what suits our needs and our preferences, okay? So that being said, no judgments here. And this energy in particular, we have the Lady Grain. This talks about opening your heart. God dang it. Why are all the signs having heart chakra opening moments? Jesus, the last 3 signs I've read for, it's been like open your heart chakra, work with pink, open your heart chakra, work with green, open your heart chakra, this is how you do it. But this is just talking about opening. This isn't talking about working with it. But this is about Lady Grain and her role in opening the heart. Now, I am going to read from the book on this one and also the listener, because I have worked with these two, but it was quite some time back. So I'll put my snippets in. But first off, you also have the listener. Now, this is actually a fun card because this talks about actively listening from the heart space, which I think is why Lady Grain is here, and being resilient in silence and receiving messages in nature. Whereas this is about opening your heart to receive the fullest abundance of love. So let's go ahead and get into the book on this one. Give me a second here. Wow, Aquarius, I didn't really think we were going to go here. But apparently we are. So, the Lady Grain, open your heart. Grain speaks. I am of the earth and of the solar star's light. I am the opening of the flower, the love that lives in the flower of your heart. I love you and wish for you to draw this loving energy into your being. I am a power source that you cannot neglect. Because even if you are, or if you feel you are a being of winter, and that your heart has gone cold and hard in order to ease the pain, I tell you that you are now ready to reveal your own life source and warmth to another being. The love you have to share will be appreciated and returned. More so, this warm and loving heart energy will be its own reward as to awaken again as you awaken again to your feeling nature. There you go. Please open your heart at this moment. Allow yourself to love. See the beauty and warmth and smile as often as you can. Bring forth your own joy and see the opening of others' hearts. Wear yellow, red, and gold, all the colors of my friend, the sun, and you will be a great flow of energy. Oh, that's why I didn't remember. When I worked with her, she's a solar fae. So she works with the sun's energy. That's what it was. I didn't need her for the heart opening. I needed her for the solar energy. Okay, there you go. So this is where you're going to look to solar energies in your chart, which for you would be in your 3rd house with Aries, Eris, and Chiron are in there kind of causing problems. She actually may help to lessen that. I'm going to be honest with you. Also, it says here, you will feel a great flow of energy awakening throughout your body and electric being. Please see that the seeds you planted need warm earth in which to grow. Yes, they can survive when it is cold, but they cannot thrive. So be warm, extend your energy, and know your truly radiant self will create opportunity and abundance around you. Simply extend your heart or some heart energy, and I will support you and love you until you are the radiance of the sun incarnated in your own form. Love, be loved, love. So she is the sister to the goddess of Ione. So Ione is a moon fae goddess of the Dragonfae. The dragon, I actually, we talked about Ione last time, Aquarius, and sacred sexuality. Now, Ione is the sister to Grain, but Grain is solar. So we need to think in terms, she's a Dragonfae queen and of golden light. So you might want to do some solar plex cleansing if you can. Inviting that energy of the sun to cleanse all your chakras. You might want to do that. Because again, she's warmth. You also, you know, a lot of Aquarians I know end up marrying Leos, and I think it's because you guys kind of, you like their light, you like this, but you need to learn how to cultivate it within yourself. And then give it back to the Leo, because if that's one thing people who are with Leos need to know is Leo needs constant nurturing and attention, like too, because they are the embodiment of the sun. Now, the Listener is a card of sacred silence. I actually love the imagery on this card. Like, there's just something about it. It's so Renaissance. It's so fae. It's so mystical. I love it so much. It's kind of, it reminds me of like Venetians, you know, how they would do the face paint and all that in ancient times. And it says, how much have you missed because I could not have the space, the wild quiet, the blessed peace in which to whisper my secret straight to your soul. How much more could you be aware of if you simply took the time to be still and silent? This oddly reminds me of meditation. For my people who don't meditate, I'm not getting on you, but this might be an idea to try and work it out. You know, some issues there. Or read a book, or the point is it's decompressing and shutting off from technology, which has been quite invasive lately. The whole world can be heard in a moment, and now it is your time to be still and to be silent. Listen and truly understand what it is you are hearing. Listen with your being, your entire being, not just your ears. See, actively listening. Allow your senses to be the soul's messenger. Sometimes we need to be quiet and listen, but first of all, we need to be quiet. So many people talk so much of time, and the talking and filling up of space simply drowns out messages. The Dragonfae do not decree conversation and robust dialogue, the joyous clash of friends talking with each other, or the singing out of voices, especially when raised in joy, celebration, song, and good cheer. Oh, I'm sorry, decry. My bad. But this card speaks of a time when it would be right for you to be still and to listen as the world whispers her secrets to you. We do not want to be making so much noise that we drown out our own signs and messages. Be still, be silent, and be ready for the messages to come in sweet, subtle, and magical ways. I think that's why these Dragonfae are neutral, because they can't get you to where you need to be, Aquarius, because you've got to take time to actively listen and be still. And the only time I've seen you guys do that is when you're laying down. And this is a time where maybe you don't have to sit down and be still, but just don't play anything. Just let it go. You know, just sit in silence for a hot minute or two. You know, regroup yourself, decompress. There's been a lot going on in society that, Aquarius, I feel like you as an air sign have been overtly whelmed with just being drowned out, because I think we all have, because everybody's focusing on so many damn negative things. And right now the Dragonfae just want to help us all. The dragons want to help us. The Fae want to help us, because we're all connected to them through various timelines, realms, dimensions, pathways, and we all have, you know, in terms, we have jobs to do in the spiritual world. Yeah, we have the living world, but we also have spiritual jobs too. And, you know, some people say, well, this life is a vacation. It is not always a vacation. Lately, it hasn't felt like one. I don't know if it's felt like that with you to, you know, for you, but I know to me, it sure as hell has not. So the next card you have is a blessing of our mead. So this actually, I read a while back. I think this actually was for you. She came up again, but if not, I'm going to go ahead and go over it again. So this has to do with plants, habitats, wildlife, mainly forestry, nurturing that, going within that. You know, I live in Houston, and I gotta be honest, if I can tell you where I feel this blessing the most, it's over in the Humble area and in the Woodlands. I feel the Fae there for some strange reason. As crazy as that sounds, I feel them there. Even when I lived in San Antonio, I didn't feel them there. And I lived like in Helotes at one point, and I never felt the Fae there. I felt more wild, like shamanistic energy, because I lived out at there was a point where I lived over in an area where coyotes weren't too far away. So, you know, go to a park where you feel the Fae, where you feel nature at its purest and strongest on a beautiful day. And you'll be able to embrace this blessing. And this is going to be for the whole month. So I would also say, if you feel stressed, Capricorn got this too about decompressing in nature. But for you, I think nature and working with the Fae blessings of creation, because this is also creative life force, with working with plants, creating plants, doing fairy gardens. I've been telling people, you know, if you want to do a fairy garden, go ahead and do it. The Fae would, you know, some people say they don't care. I think they'd love it, because it would be a space for them to kind of relax. You know, they're always doing jobs. Like, believe it or not, the Fae have jobs to do. Like, they usually have to work with the blade of grass. They have to work with us. They have to do so many things. And it would be wise if we just took a minute to kind of give back to them, because they are always giving us so much, and yet we take so little. Another way of working with them is, you know, landscaping. You don't just have to do a fairy garden. You could do landscaping if you wanted to. Or you could go plant trees, you know. There are many ways, many ways. But this physically has to do with working with plants and herbs as well. If you are someone who has been curious about herbs, herb magic, herbology, being a horticulturist, this would be a good time to start looking into that. Mercury retrograde is perfect for research. Absolutely best time every time I've done papers, I always use Mercury retrograde to do my research, because I get 60 days of a break. Why not use it to just straight up research, take notes, build a thesis? For those of you who are getting master's programs, now's a good time to do that. You know, if you're starting, if you're ending, congratulations. And, you know, now you've got some freed up time to go learn about the plant world, learn about that in shamanism, honestly. Because these Fae beings, their job is to propagate, you know, nature, herbs that we can use to help, that plants and animals, they all kind of make up Gaia, and they tend to her. And it's very important that we remember that. But also, you know, herbs and herb magic is quite special, because most people use herbs and castings, but you also have to know how to work with the herb, what its needs are suited to you, etc., etc. Actually, that reminds me, I need to post my lilac guide on Patreon. I haven't had time to do it because of my sibling's wedding. I've now had to like hurry up and get things done, you know, within like the last 2 weeks. So like, I don't even still have my shoes, and I still got to go get my dress hemmed. Yeah, guys, like, they're like, really? Yes, because I'm putting you guys ahead of my own needs, period. Because they asked me at the last minute. So, you know, I'm just flying by the seat of my pants here. But it's an interesting perspective to take, because normally I'd freak out and I wouldn't enjoy it, and I would be bothered. And this way I am enjoying it. I'm still doing what I want, doing the readings, but I'm also like, oh, look, I found a tailor. I'm not worried about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that. It's taking that a notch. And also going and enjoying nature is like yesterday. We had a picnic in the neighborhood. Best way to go enjoy nature and feel that sleepy kind of energy. Get that renewal from being outside, you know, go be by a lake or a beach and just sit in the silence a little bit. Take it in with that listener card. Oh, yes. That is exactly what I think you need, Aquarius. But other than that, guys, this is really all I have for you. This would also be a good time to look and see a specific herb that's trying to like work with you or attune to your spirit. It's probably been coming up a couple of times, like in casual conversation. That might be something you spiritually want to work with. Normally, when it comes to working with herbs, I'm not one to incorporate them in my diet, and I am not a doctor or practitioner by any means. So if you have questions about that, definitely go to your doctor. But for spiritual benefits, you can diffuse oils. You can use them in the love corners of your home. Just make sure if you have pets that they're not poisonous to cats or dogs, okay? So, because we don't want anything to happen to our beloved pets. You know, like certain herbs and essential oils can do that. So just make sure, again, you do your research. Other than that, Aquarius, I love you so very much. I will talk to you later. Bye. Like, share, and subscribe.